Spot on, Colin. Are you ready?
As I'm ready.
Go.
The world is full of smug bastards. Self-serving, self-satisfied, so-and-sos who treat the rest of us like fools. But luckily, the ancient Greeks and the Romans have given us the perfect tool to deal with them. I'm talking about satire. Satire. Tough on smugness, tough on the causes of smugness. In the Middle Ages, satire was in the hands of the medieval court jester, who spoke truth to power by using satire with bells on. But it was all real time and face-to-face and very labour-intensive. And it remained so until the Industrial Revolution came along and the industrialisation of satire began. So we got the mass market in satirical books like Swift's masterpiece Gulliver's Travel, and the YouTube of its day, the satirical caricature. The exponent, the star of YouTube in the 18th century was James Gilray, who left no poked unstoned. Satire travels well, and it soon passed to our post-colonial cousins in the States, and Mark Twain, or Sam Clements, whatever you want to call him, was a past master, one of the early American satirists, and his work remains good today. Meanwhile, back in Blighty, the Aspidistra was kept flying by another Mr. Blair, Eric this time, who traded under the name of George Orwell. And he wrote a great book, Animal Farm. And then before we got into the sexual revolution of the 1960s, which was a bit before my time, we had the satire revolution. A group of public school boys from some public school, which is names forgotten, took their magazine and they brought it out as Private Eye. Meanwhile, back in the States, we had Lenny Bruce, a famous comedian who had an interesting take on satire. Satire is tragedy plus time. Given enough time, you can satirise anything. Meanwhile, back in England, the TV edged gently out of its comfort zone with the Frost Reports, and that was the week that was. And it was multimedia. We could even buy long-playing records, vinyl, for anybody who remembers it, of Pete Cook and Dudley Moore putting the world to right in the pub. This was a far cry from the glittering Footlights review, but a short step to the potty-mouthed experience of Derek and Clive. All went quiet until the late 70s, and then we got Spinning Image. Great programme, and then they bottled out when New Labour got elected, which meant that we were denied years of Mandelson, which would have given me great pleasure. But of course, one of my satirical heroes is the Right Honourable Alan Bustard, MP for North Yorkshire, a philandering guy, feathering his own nest. Could never happen, could it? And Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks, he took satire in terms of a rant, and he took hypocrisy and anything else as a target, and sadly he died biblically young at the age of 33, but not before begetting Bill Hicks Light, Dennis Leary. Now, The Simpsons, it's not a kid show, it's pure satire, wall to wall, listen to the dialogue, look for the visual cues, satire. And the Americans are so much better these days than we are. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, excellent. There is not a politician who hasn't had the guts yet to refuse an appearance on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart, as far as I know. Meanwhile, anti-BBC, taking it very lightly, it's part of the dumbing down of politics, it's part of the dumbing down of satire. So we get such crap as Mock the Week and the News Quiz. But we've got one shining example. The thick of it, Malcolm Tucker, the political demon for the 21st century. Well, at least so far. I was glad to see it came back this weekend, and I'll be an avid viewer again. In terms of who is another one of my heroes, it's Mark Thomas. But that's a story for another day. I shall do Mark soon. If you get a chance, sorry, metaphorically speaking. So, if you want to be tough on smugness and tough on the causes of smugness, get yourself a clown. Don't need a machine gun. Satire. It's the answer to all those smug bastards.